Today we will have a pretty interesting subject centered around business success blueprint. So if you're in business and you ever wonder, is there a blueprint to success? I want to encourage you to settle in, call a friend, tell a friend that today we're going to be doing business success blueprint, and we're going to be dropping a number of hacks that can really help rising stars in business to accelerate their pathway to success. And today we're going to cover a number of talking points. For example, we're going to be looking at what is a clear vision and how much does that clear vision complements your business success blueprint. We'll also talk about a well-developed system. What exactly are well-developed systems? We will have a high-level overview of what all of this represents and how you can apply it to your business. Along with that, we will cover things like the ability to define success based on art and based on science. So these are some of the blueprint elements that we are likely to cover today. Last but not least, we will be talking about what is strategic leadership, what is tactical leadership, and what is operational leadership. But along with this, we will be talking a whole lot about access to capital. Because when you have a business and you want to be successful in business, it's important for you to understand the important role that capital play in that whole equation. So to join me in today's conversation, I have Paul Whitehouse, who is from Patriot Business Finance, who will be talking to us about access to capital and how to access capital. Along with that, I have Peter Scott. Peter Go Scott, he is a very innovative minds in terms of helping you to develop your master plan. And of course, having a blueprint is a master plan for your business success. So Peter also will be here to talk to us about the importance of master planning and the significant role it plays in your business success. Guys, I want to take this time to welcome each and every one of you here. How are you guys? How was the weekend being to you guys?
Doing good.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Uh, I didn't hear you, Peter.
Not an earthquake and all, but we're doing great.
Oh yeah, I know New York was hit with that earthquake. I think it's a 7 point somebody.
Just
But you
four.
have the after effects. 4 point somebody. Uh, 30 miles away was
Mhm.
the epicenter, and you still feel the ripple effects in New York. And thank God, no life was lost. And I trust that we don't have any aftershock and any negative outcomes and from that. All right, today we're going to be having a pretty interesting topic. We're going to be talking about the business success blueprint. Now, what exactly is the business success blueprint and why are we talking about this? Now, we're talking about this in the context that we have seen that many business startups, they fail. In 2021, we see 20% of business startup failed in that year. In 2022, we see 40% startup failed, and in 2023, we see 49.9% of business startup that fail. And I'm quite certain if they had the blueprint that we were about to go into, it would have helped significantly in putting them on that path to be successful. What I will do to get a conversation started, I will look at the first talking point, and then I will come across to Paul to talk to us about access to capital and the significant role that capital can play in helping businesses to be successful. So let me begin by saying that one of the things that you need to be successful in business, and that should be part of the business success blueprint, is what I call a clear vision. But what exactly is a clear vision? Because sometimes you say clear vision, but to the average man, it's an abstract term. To you, you understand what you mean by clear vision, but to the average person, it is an abstract expression. So what I will attempt to do today is to break down and give some definition in our context what having a clear vision means. For us, having a clear vision means that you're thinking ahead of not only what you want to accomplish, but you're thinking ahead of what are those things that you need to accomplish to achieve your targeted end results. For example, you may want to start, a business in real estate, or you may want to start a business providing specialized services to specific demographic, specific target market. But as you think ahead of what you want to accomplish for the business in of itself to run successfully, you must also be thinking ahead about the essential human resource needs, about the essential technical resource needs, and about the essential capital resource needs. And these are things that you need to think ahead about. It's not just to say, I need human resource, but it's to ensure that you have the right human resources to either run and manage your real estate portfolio or to manage your service industry. So it's important to pause a bit and really ask yourself, you're thinking ahead about this. You don't wait until you start or you get into the situation and then you start trying to figure things out. Delaying the process of thinking this through and being very clear about this, it can hurt your business. It can hurt your chance for survival. It can cost you a lot of money and it can cause you a lot of stress. So clear vision is saying that you need to be able to think ahead. And I have clearly established what are some of those things you should be thinking ahead about. But let me push this one step further because there are four things that you need to take away here. What is thinking ahead? What is seeing beyond problems? What is the ability to take informed action? And what is targeted performance outcome? I'm going to be brief about this because I'm doing a high level overview. So you have an understanding of what thinking ahead really is. The second concept is the ability to see beyond problems. Now, why this is necessary? In my life, I've interfaced with hundreds of businesses, micro, small, and medium businesses. I've interfaced with hundreds of businesses. And guess what? They may be able to think ahead of human resource need. I need these type of human resource to move the process forward. I need this type of technical resources to move the vision forward. I need this type of capital resources to move the problem forward. But guess what? Many of those rising stars get stuck in the problem zone. You get stuck in the thinking ahead. You never get beyond seeing beyond the problem because very often it is much easier to brainstorm and think tank that your need for capital to move the vision forward. It's much more difficult to position yourself and take the kind of leadership steps to attract and get access to capital. And again, that's why we have Paul here, because Paul will help you to understand how to prepare yourself for financial success. And Peter will talk to you about the importance of the master plan. So thinking ahead is one. As you think ahead, you're going to be seeing what you want to accomplish, but you're going to be also seeing some of the problems. What can you do to see beyond the problems? You need to push yourself beyond the problem zone. Very often, you are not in a position to do this for yourself because you may not have the experience in starting and scaling a business. So that brings us to the third concept, and that is the ability to take informed action, not just action, informed action. Now, there's a difference between taking action and informed action. We all do take action, but sometimes we take action not necessarily knowing what's going to be the end results. And sometimes that can cost you a lot of time, a lot of money, and sometimes it costs you a whole lot of stress. Informed action is slightly different from the perspective that you're not working alone. In the event that you don't have the knowledge to take informed action, the option that you have, you can talk to a mentor. A mentor is a mentor because they have years and years of experience in front of you, and they can help you to make better, smarter business decisions. You also have a coach. A coach comes with years of experience. You have a sponsor. A sponsor also can help you to get beyond the problem zone and now start to take what we call informed action. And last but not least, you have a supportive community.
Mhm.
All of these bodies is what can help you to be clear about the vision. So, clarity about the vision again, before I hand over to Paul, clarity in the vision for us, it's about the ability to think ahead. That's being proactive. It's not being reactive in business. You want to position yourself to be proactive. It's the ability to see beyond the problem. Don't get stuck in the problem zone. See beyond the problems. It's the ability to take informed action. This is not just taking action, it's being able to work with your mentor, your coach, your sponsor, your supportive community to accomplish what? Your targeted performance outcome, whatever the goal is. What is the, start your real estate portfolio or start your service industry? You are more clearer when you go about doing it in this way. You can reach your targeted performance outcome with greater ease when you surround yourself, you apply yourself based on the concepts that we have just thrown out. Now, an essential part, I've just talked about it. Thinking ahead, you need to think ahead about access to capital. All right. What we are going to present to you now is that you don't have to burst your brain about how to access capital because Paul will now tell you exactly what you can do to access capital. So, Paul, I don't know if you want to look specifically at real estate financing or perhaps financing for the service industry. So the listening audience will be able to take that away. All to you, Paul.
Cool. Okay, I got a good idea how to explain this and tie it all together.
All right.
First, I just want to say that I've done like a lot of these shows with you guys. That was the best intro, and you've done so many good ones. I mean, there, but that was the best. I gained a lot from that, and here's why: because I have not done it the right way before so many times growing up. I know what it's like to not do it without a plan and to start something with $1,000 that you really should start with $10,000. And it's not fun. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It can work, but it is not ideal, right? Uh, Master planning. Everybody's heard the term master plan, and I believe master plan and blueprint are the same. Two different words. Okay, there's a difference, but master planning. When I met Peter, everybody knows the term master plan. When you just it's a phrase. You think about it. Let's have a master plan. Sounds great. Let's have a master plan. But if you think about it a lot, and go deep into what is a master plan and why should I have it in life, in every angle that Peter takes it from, but what we're talking about today is in business, is it just raises your chances of success as high as they can be. It's hard enough already, so it takes them as high as they can. You're maximizing your chance of success. And if you were playing the lottery and you could take some action and maximize your chance of success, would you do it? The answer is yes. So why not do it here? Because you should do that. You got a higher chance than the lottery. So yeah, I went off on that, but I like this subject because it's
Great
important.
point. Great
Exactly.
point.
Okay, master plan when starting a business related to finance, and then I'll relate it to a finance program. Well, I guess you kind of got to have it because if you're buying a business or let's talk, you're buying a business, you got to figure out how to pay for it. There's a couple ways. Part of your master plan, if you don't have down payment, can be I'm going to go to the owner and ask him to finance it. That is potential part of a master plan. Another potential part of the master plan is I don't have the down payment money that I'm going to need to finance the real estate and the equipment that I need to open my business. Because if it's a startup, you're looking at 30 to 35%. That's the facts. Anywhere you go, you get financing. That's what it is. So you need to have a master plan to come up with your down payment as well as operating the business. You got to have one master plan with a bunch of moving parts in it. Um, so if you're starting a business, you're either going to buy an existing one or build it from the ground up, but you involved in your master plan, it's not going to magically appear. So obviously what we're saying is if you don't know it by now, after I've said master plan so many times, you need to have one. Relating it to financing as a startup, put it together, think of your angles, owner financing, family and friends to let me borrow put some money together for me because I don't have it. That's a master plan. Organizing your capital sources, or you own your house free and clear. And your master plan, the first part related to financing is I'm just going to pull the equity out of my house. I got all the money for the down payment for the business. The master plan is here, a box, and you're putting stuff in it. And those are some of the things that you can put in it for starting a business. Let's say you're going to grow a business and you're taking on more orders, you got more customers, but the equipment that you have right now you've doubled what you're putting out. The equipment you have right now is already running at maximum capacity. You need more equipment, right? If you're going to grow a business, then you should have seen this coming. I'm sure you did, but you want to expect it to happen. When you start thinking about trying to double your business, first you start with you expect it to happen. You know it's going to happen. You just have to do these things. Get more contracts, part of the master plan. When that starts ramping up and production starts going up more, your master plan is going to involve the next phase of that, the next bullet point of that going down as things occur is now I need more equipment. Well, if you've planned it, then and business is already good, you've probably got the money in the account to put down for a down payment. And part of your master plan should be you should talk to me, Paul at patriotbfc.com. Email Gary so we can set an appointment and do these things in real life for you. But as your business is growing, then plan for the equipment that you need. Look for it in advance. You know that you need it 3 months down the road. Start pricing it. Go to different manufacturers. Price it. Save some money there. That's part of your master plan. And then as far as actually financing the equipment, your part of your master plan should be to work with us because we're out for your best interest. We will get you the lowest cost of money. We want those things to happen. We'll make them happen for you. But part of the master plan would be equipment leasing because equipment leasing provides ownership of equipment. That stuff right behind me right there, you lease it, you own it at the end of the lease. And leasing is flexible. If you pay cash, all your cash is gone. Don't do that. Keep it. Seriously. Your balance sheet looks stronger. You keep all your cash. That's what you want. Biggest companies in the world use equipment leasing for ownership. So you should do that too. Model what they do because they're successful. Equipment leasing. You bank finance it. They're going to want, you've been with that bank for 30 years. You still want 20% down, at least, because that's the asset-based model financing. That's how that works. And if you've got difficult credit, then it's probably not going to work out. Banks just don't do that. What can we offer? Well, we represent more than 40 equipment leasing companies. Some will do any equipment, but if we're talking construction equipment or trucking, then we've got lenders who only do that business. They're specialists. So lowest cost of money, equipment leasing is the way to do it. You don't have to put 20% down. If you got difficult credit, you do, or more, or a little bit less. But difficult credit deals, we can get them done. If you've been declined, don't think it's over with. Get a hold of us. Money down turns that no into a yes. That's the facts. So that's how we can get you approved with difficult credit when the bank won't do that for you. And if you've got outstanding credit, time in business, and you're making money and your business is growing, then When you master plan leasing, when you master plan working with Patriot, then you're going to end up with, you can put money down. Leasing equals choices. You can choose to put money down, or you can choose to put less money down, just have a higher monthly payment. Equipment leasing equals ownership, tax advantages, uh, flexibility, choices, and it's better for you in your business. We want to work with you. Let me be a part of your master plan, please.
All right, great share, Paul. And I just want to emphasize this. We are in business for quite a number of years, and we have taken that time to really study businesses and some of the challenges that they go through. And that is why we have developed these blueprints, and that's why we have developed these master plans, is to provide you with the support, the guidance, the mentorship, the coaching that will make your pathway to success much easier. We know that one of the things that you're going to be thinking about is how do I access the capital? Now, of course, when you make us part of your master plan, part of your business success blueprint, you don't have to think about access to capital because we will do everything that we need to do to ensure that you access capital. And that's a strong point that Paul just tried to get across to you. So we are not just talking in isolation of what we can do. We are not just presenting a thesis. We are saying to you, we understand your challenge and we are here to provide that support for you. All right. So whether it's to build your master plan, design your master plan, implement your master plan, or to access capital, we're here and for you. So I now come to Peter, because you now can talk to us. You can chime in based on everything that we would have said. And being the expert in terms of master plan, I would love to hear your take on the importance of this and blueprint. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, Gary. So I'm always so appreciative of being in these conversations with gentlemen
Thank
to
you.
be able to give some kind of you know inspiration and even add a little bit of know-how to those persons who are listening to our message and what we have to contribute to their development. And again, Gary, I have to say thanks to you for taking the time out to design a program like this that the many people are out there searching for answers to the challenges that they might be going through, whether they are a startup, whether they are already in business and seeking to navigate themselves to the next level, or for that established business who now needs to know how they're going to make greater impact and what they need to do to have to shoreline their place in the market. This is a place where they can get that kind of information. What we do with our human growth master plan program, there's two ways by which, well, let me first start about that. We have a matrix that we call the four S's, which is substance, systems, structures, and strategy. That matrix we use to identify for an individual how they're going to develop their master plan. And as Paul said a while ago, a master plan is so essential. Having that blueprint, that uh, over overview of what it is they are doing, and what we do find over the years. And I made that, well, I wouldn't say it's a mistake now after 10 years. I wouldn't call it a mistake, because a lot of what I have to say now after 10 years is based upon what I've learned, navigating our journey to where we are now. But if I had known that, what I know now back then, it would have been so much different. And what we're saying here, why you need a blueprint, why you need a business success blueprint, and it says exactly what it means right there. You need a success blueprint. You need before you go out there to present a solution to the marketplace, present your product. You need to create a design on what success looks like. What does success look like to you? So when we're communicating with individuals who comes to us, there's two things we're asking them to look for and to design their blueprint, and it is a time life master plan. What is the time? The time duration that they intend. How long do they intend for their business to last? What is your entry strategy and your exit strategy? And you have to look at your entry into the marketplace in terms of time. When we're talking about blueprint or master plan, we caution individuals also to take into consideration their entire life. If you are just going into a business, say a LLC that is going to last for 5 years, and then you're going to exit and find something else, what happens in your life after that? So you want to go forward, move forward toward the end of your life and actually work backwards to now, so that you can have a greater vision on the outcomes that you're looking for. So we encourage individuals to have that 50 to 100 years. If you're really going to have a master plan, you want to be able to see 50 to 100 years in your future. You have to see your life, the business that you're creating, because the business that you're creating, it is going to take time away from your wife. If you're married, it's going to take time out. If you're a female, you're going to take time out from your husband. It's going to take time out from your children. So you're going to need to have a plan that is going to incorporate how you communicate to them as well. And so let me just now look at the substance, the system, the structures, and the strategy that we communicate to individuals. So the substance of your business that you're looking at is going to ask you questions such as, what is it? What is the problems that you see in the marketplace? The substance, what are the core of your distribution? What is it that you're trying to do? The substance, what is it that you have that everybody else need to have? What is it? What is a big problem that people have, that when you engage with them, you will be the best thing since the invention of the wheel? What is that one thing that is going to advance people's lives in such a way that they are just so much in love with you? When they think about, when they hear your name, they sigh, because you are the answer to some pain in their life. That's your substance, the substance of what you represent. When you are no longer here on earth, everybody remember you because of what you present to the marketplace in such a way that impact people's lives. Then we look at the systems. What are the systems? So you have the substance, then how are you going to get those systems out to your ideal customer or client? Are you going to develop a brick and mortar? Is it that people are going to come to you, to your location, and they're going to find you right there to get your product or service? Or is it that it's going to be online based? Maybe it is that you are going to be a distributor, as an affiliate, where you're going to take somebody else's substance, and you're going to help them to distribute that substance to the marketplace, to the network of individuals that who need a particular kind of product or service in their lives. So you got to take all of those mindsets. You're going to take all of those thoughts in your mind. You're going to need systems. You're going to need substance. You're going to need systems. Then you're going to need structures, because if you're going to go out there to do business, you're going to need some kind of a legal protection. Because what if you should go out there, serve somebody with some kind of a product, lotion or potion, and somebody has a complaint concerning the lotion or the portion that you gave to them, then they'll be coming for you personally. You do not want people to come after you personally. So you want to create some kind of a separation between you as an individual and the subs or the structure, or the protection around your portion and lotion. That has to be two separate entities. So you need a business structure. You need, what is it? How are you going to operate? Are you going to operate as a non-profit organization? Are you going to operate as a S corp? Are you going to operate as a C corp? Are you going to do a limited liability? Is it a sole proprietorship that you're doing? Is it a partnership that you are engaging? These are questions that surrounds, that supplies the systems, taking into consideration what you have to distribute to your community, the problems that you are solving. And last but not least, a broad overview for your strategies. Now, this is very important where your strategies is concerned. Your strategies is going to take into the overall how you're going to, from where you are to where you're going to connect with your clients and your customers. Your strategies is going to include now your business plan. Your strategies is going to include your marketing plan. Your strategies is going to include that you have a sales plan, a distribution, a customer care plan, a customer retention plan, a management plan. And all of these, when you begin to have these chunks of ideas in how you're going to operate overall, it's, as we say, it's a blueprint, right? So you imagine a blueprint of your building. You have your bathroom area here, you have your bedrooms, how many bedrooms, to facilitate whoever it is the house is serving. You have the living room. So all of that, you have that on paper. It is designed, you plan on paper. You want to see through a blueprint that and when you are facilitated, then you are able to, as Gary often preach, about being prepared and having that plan. And where Paul is concerned, you're going to know that there is a cost to every facet of your blueprint. For you to distribute, there is a cost that is associated with just distribution. There's a cost that is associated with just production. If it's a storefront, yes, but if you're going to have a storefront, there's rental. Unless you have a building, there is still insurance. Each condition that you're going to present, there is a cost. Because it is business, you're dealing with the distribution of products and services, there is cost. You do understand there is cost. But what we find without a blueprint, individuals just go out there and they begin to do their best. A person who's a cook, and because he's an excellent cook and everybody encourage him or her, you know what, this is something that you need to do, open a restaurant. But having the ability as a chef is completely different matter from being a business person. Two different sets of skills are needed. And so what we do and what this program is designed to inform you to do is to create that strategy, create that blueprint. And for us, when individual comes to us from this, we want them to understand their substance, their systems, their structures, and their strategies. You have that on a piece of paper. It makes life so much easier when you begin to move forward and apply your plans. Back to you, Gary.
All right. Great share, Peter. Structures, systems, substance, system structures, and strategies. I trust that the audience took away a lot of information there in terms of what you are presenting as a blueprint, as a master plan for success. Great shares. I'm going to come back to expand a little bit on some of the points that you would have made, because it coincides with something that I want to say here. But just before I go there, I want to emphasize the importance of capital. I want to also emphasize when you work with us, all right, to help you to build your blueprint for success, We are not just helping you to access capital, we're helping you to understand financial instruments. And Paul will expand on that. There are multiple types of financial instruments. Do you know which type is best for you? Perhaps the type that might be best for you is equity financing because you don't have monthly debt obligation. But you don't know that because you don't understand financial instruments. So with us, we will work with you to help you to understand financial instruments. Paul will be one of the persons helping you to access. But then the next play is capital leverage. How do you know that the way you're leveraging capital is the best way to do that? Sometimes, if you don't have the right market intelligence, you don't know that for sure. These are things that we will talk to you about. So, when you build in your business success blueprint, you have all of this as part of your play. The next element that I will quickly talk about here is capital mitigation. Now, if you have never heard of capital mitigation, if this is not part of your business portfolio, part of your business success blueprint, guess what? You're not leaving that negotiation table, leaving the crumbs on the table. You might be leaving the negotiation table with more than half of your business cash flow potential right there. Because when you understand how to mitigate capital as part of your business success blueprint, you know exactly how to reduce the cost of doing business because you know to reduce the cost of capital. These are all things that we will get into to help you to understand how to adopt, how to apply, and how to master this as part of your business success blueprint. Now, I want to come back and just expand a little bit on some of the points that Peter would have made, which coincide with my next talking point. I did give a table of content when I started this program, and I did say you need to have a well developed system. What does a well developed system looks like? Everything that Peter talked about is part of that well developed system. But I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to expand on it. What exactly is system and how the system helps you in terms of your business success blueprint? Building a system, it means that you have transparency. Without a system, you don't have a way of holding yourself accountable. So having that system does several things. It gives you a chance to have transparency. It gives you a chance to hold yourself accountable. It gives you a chance to have consistency. And why do I want to now emphasize consistency? I think Paul and Peter would have emphasized this a little bit. If you're doing a project, if you're moving through a process and you don't have any system, how do you know, how can you repeat that process? Let us suppose that you work a process and you win. Because you don't have what we call transparency and accountability, you don't have you can't hold you don't have consistency in how you execute a particular plan. What a system does, a system tells you this is what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. A system helps you to also understand the effectiveness of what you're doing, the efficiency in what you're doing. It tells you what to avoid, what to enhance. But without a system, something that Peter would have talked about this, so without a system, you could be captain, the captain of your ship, but then you don't have clear direction. So let me quickly go through this. System helps you to have transparency, accountability, consistency, traceability. It also helps you to have scalability. And last but not least, transferability. Because you now have systems that work. All right, it's working. You can either scale it up. That's one major outcome. And let us suppose that you build your system around how you do business. It's working. But now you want to take that business regional. Now you want to take that business international. You can easily transfer that system. And that's what systems helps you to accomplish. But let me try to break it down a little bit more. Well-developed systems also represents your ability to set clear objectives and plan. All right. And Peter hinted on this early on. Setting clear objective and planning represent the entire business ecosystem. What is targeted for human resources? What is targeted for, you know, public relation? What are the targeted for marketing? Setting clear objectives. You need to be clear. This needs to be part of your blueprint. You see, managing a business and doing it well and successfully, it's not about guesstimating.
Mhm.
It's about being able to think through and see through and having the highest degree of clarity of what you're doing. And systemizing your processes is what's going to help you to be more successful. Let's talk about another concept, organizing resources to achieve the objective. We have given a hint early on. What is your process to attract human resources? Is this systemized?
Mhm.
What is your process to attract technical resources? Is it systemized? What is your process to attract capital resources? Is it systemized? So when we talk about the business success blueprint, yes, this is a high level overview. May sound complicated to some, but knowing this is what's going to make your effort to be successful in business more successful. Paul said it earlier. Sometimes you're on a path to position yourself for success, but you don't have a blueprint, you don't have a master plan. It makes it even tougher. Having the blueprint doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but having a blueprint means that you have your anchor point. You know what you're doing, why you're doing it, you know what you want to accomplish, you know how to accomplish it. Because you have your all ducks lined up in a row, that's going to help you to achieve that. Well developed systems. Do you have a system in place to communicate information to your team and to keep your team highly motivated? These are all systems. All right. Because without a highly motivated team, without systems to keep them highly motivated, you're going to have a demotivated workforce. And guess what? There's nothing like a demotivated workforce that can undermine the success and growth of your business.
Mhm.
Are you seeing this as part of your business success blueprint?
Mhm.
Next, you have the concept of coordinating activities. Paul said it, Peter said it. To manage a business successfully is many moving parts. The public relation must coincide with production department, the marketing must coincide with finance department. Each department must be able to work together because next thing you see what's happening, public relation is out there and public relation is creating hype that we have the best quality of products, we have the best quality of service, and next thing you know, people start knocking on your door,
Right.
but then you don't have the human resources to deliver on the services or provide the products. There's no coordination. So every activity has to be properly synchronized. It's like when you look at that synchronized swimming or synchronized dancing, it's properly synchronized. The same process applies to coordinating activities towards achieving your objective. If you don't coordinate activities, you have a problem. The last concept that I will share here, you must measure and control performance towards achieving the objective that you want to accomplish. Now, if you are not measuring, if you can't measure, you can't monitor. If you can't monitor, you can't control. If you can't control, you have a runaway train. And this is why so many rising stars in business, you set yourself up for success, but you are not allowing yourself to be mentored and to be coached by professionals who have been there, done that, who have years of experience behind their belt that can help you to save money, time, and stress behind you, your success. So you need to be always be certain that when you set a goal and you identify the human resource to achieve that goal, you identify the technical resource to achieve that goal, you identify the capital resource to achieve that goal, you're measuring it. You want to have timeline to set that goal. So if you say, I want to increase my disposable income by 10% by Q1 or Q2, you're measuring your performance not at the end of it. You're measuring yourself on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and you're evaluating how the HR is performing to help you to achieve that objective. It's public relation going out consistently. All right. You're evaluating, you're measuring all of this. Is public relation going out? Are they making the impact? Are they helping you with client conversion? Is client conversion translating into cash flow optimization? Is cash flow optimization enough to help you to reach the 10, 20% increase in the business cash flow that you set it for yourself? Is this part of your blueprint? So you want to measure your activities, because if you're not measuring, you most likely have a runaway train, and that's not what you want. And that's why we do these blueprints. So I'm going to pause here for now. I just expanded on one area that Peter would have talked about. And I want to know, talk to Paul, to have Paul talk to us a little bit more about capital and the different types of capital that any business, once you're in the United States of America, in 50 states, we can get you funded. All right. You can have good credit or bad credit. Um, we can get you funded. And Paul will talk us through how that process works. Paul, also.
Cool. Um, well, there's equipment financing, there's real estate financing, there's growth capital, there's cash flow solutions, and there's providing a way when there's not a way, which is purchase order financings. Equipment financing, we do that through equipment leasing. 40 plus lenders we represent. Real estate financing, same scenario. It's well over 30. We don't use all of the lenders we represent. We zeroed in on who we work with. But we've got lenders who are ready to say yes for every scenario. So quick fund financing, difficult credit, we can get you done. Your bank can't get you done. Growth capital. Okay, subordinate debt. So you're tapped out at the bank. You can't borrow from the bank anymore because you don't have the assets. There are investors who will not, they'll give you money, but it'll be debt. It won't be equity. So you're not giving equity up in your company. It's debt financing. And they will go subordinate to current bank debt. That's a big risk. So, but we got those lenders who will do that. That's a different type of financing. We do that as representatives of two investment bankers. We're their scouts basically, and that's a program that they've got available. So money is available when you don't think it is. You might feel that I've come to the end of the line. I don't know where I'm going to get money. There's more options, right? So we got you covered there. Cash flow. It's called factoring. That's what we can set you up with. Your accounts receivable, one of your greatest assets, but your company's growing. You got all the accounts receivable out there. Nobody's paid you yet. Some people are 15 days late. They're going to pay you, but they don't care to pay you on time. Your cash flow is up and down. You're worried about the lights. You're worried about payroll. Okay, stop it. Grab us, Paul at patriotbfc.com. Let's make an appointment. globalcapitalinc@gmail.com. Let's make an appointment and talk about this, because if your cash flow is slow and you're doing business to business sales, you're issuing invoices and you got a lot of money floating out in the air that you just can't touch. It's yours, but you can't grab it. We can help you grab it. You sell those accounts receivable for a discount. How much of a discount? Depends. 1.5%, 1 point, 3 points. So you're getting 97 or 98 or 98 cents on the dollar. And I know that's the difference between 1 and 3 points, but that depends on the annual volume that you commit to with factoring. How many accounts receivable are you going to sell throughout the course of the year? You do $1 million plus, it's less expensive. You do $100,000 only, it's 3 points. So that's cash flow. We can bring your cash flow tight. And purchase order financing, you got an order you can't fulfill. PO financing will step in, pay for it, pay for transportation, get it to your customer pays, they get paid back, they get a couple of points for doing it for you, and you get to say yes to the order. You don't have to say, no, I can't take the order, thanks for the business. You get to say yes to it because somebody will finance that entire purchase order. And there's a couple of more things we do, but that'll take another 3 minutes. I'm just going to stop with those. I think that's probably enough. And it's one thing I wanted to say was systems. Well, number one, everything that is in front of you, if you're watching this, look around your desk, look around your room, and there's more things that were made with blueprints than not. Okay. If you got a piece of artwork, that wasn't made with a blueprint, but the blueprint was in the guy's head, and so was the master plan. So it really was. You look at everything around you was made with a blueprint. There's a design, an original design, a schematic, a blueprint. So use a blueprint because everybody and everything else is. And then systems. McDonald's is a system and it's run by teenagers and young people pretty well. Systems are important. Nothing exists without systems. I've made the mistakes before of doing things without systems. Somehow some of it worked, and then obviously a lot of it failed. Some of it worked, but more of it failed, and the things that did work were harder. So you need systems, you need a master plan, you need to talk to Peter for a master plan, and you need a blueprint for everything that you do. That's it. Back to you.
You got it. When we look at some of the great minds in the world, um, they start with their blueprint, it's systemized, and they were significantly able to optimize it.
Right.
I think there's where they move from generalization to specialization. And what specialization does, because the processes repeat multiple times, you become more efficient in terms of how you execute and implement on your applications. And that's the beauty of systems. That's the beauty of having a blueprint. So those were definitely great points. I want to turn to Peter now to have you shine in a little bit on what was said and to perhaps highlight some more key points of elements of blueprint for success. What I will do when I take the floor from you, I will talk about the ability to define success in terms of art and in terms of science, because I do believe that it's so important to be able to define this in the right context, because the ability to do this is what's going to literally position you, the business leader, the rising star in business, to be more clinical, to be more strategic as you position yourself to success. But Peter, all
Yeah.
to you, my friend.
Yeah, Gary. Something else that we I mentioned earlier, which is so much essential to the blueprint, right? And in communicating about a blueprint, because having a blueprint, let's use blueprint as Paul was saying a while ago. A blueprint is normal for about just about anything, and there's so much information that comes when an individual has a blueprint. For the first information that the individual has is time, one of the important information, because anything that you're going to make, develop, design, you're just going to snap your finger and it comes about. It helps you to make quite a number of decisions. It helps you to make a decision in terms of material. It information, the what, the construct, how what is going to hold the construct together. And one bit of information that it also gives is information in terms of time, how long it's going to take to from start to finish, so you can act in regard to time. Similarly, as your business blueprint for success, it gives you a linear view of time in terms of years. And in our structures, when we're communicating these values to our clients, if you're doing a master plan, the term master plan, you don't build a master plan for a year. Yes, you can do some essence if you want to go a very details in the nitty gritties, but the essence of master plan, goes into the thought process that there are many elements working at the same time. And so you need to have a coordinative approach in how all of those components are managed simultaneously. So what we try to get individuals to do when they're developing their master plan is to have a long-term vision of their life, the immediate, the midterm, a long term, the future got to be futuristic, but within that vision of having that approach, that lifetime approach to master planning, then we also, the application of that master plan in terms of the linear trajectory of a vision also takes into consideration that life doesn't happen a linear progression. Much as it seems that it is, it doesn't really happen that way. Life happens cyclically. Life happens in cycles. So individuals, when you're trying to get to point A to point from point A to point B, and you're trying to get to in the shortest space of time, a lot of times we find that there is disappointments because individuals not understanding that before one thing should happen, any one thing that should happen, there are a lot of other smaller things that needs to happen. Doesn't matter what it is. If I decide that I'm going to get up from here to go to the bathroom, there is a number that has to happen in order for me. Simple as that might seem. So there, and it is cyclical. So when we understand cycles and we ask individuals to understand the cycles of their lives, and you have to have a cyclical master plan. Simply put, every year there are just certain things that happen. That's just the way how life is designed. Every year you're going to, and especially when there's a business is concerned, when we understand the cycles when we understand the cycle, it makes your processes so much more exciting because now you can create a measurement as your for instance, pick out that your master plan for your marketing. Now you can create an impactful marketing plan because every year there is Christmas. Every year there is Passover or Easter for some communities. Every year there are birthdays. Every year there are Valentine's days. There are just certain things that you can build on, you can plan with those cycles, and it makes your linear growth, your linear development so much more impactful. And then you can measure, because now you can measure against the last amount of cycles that happens. Now you have information how you can plan for future. So putting those two components, the lifetime master plan and your cyclical master plan, put those two together, it makes business so much more exciting because it gives you something to look forward to, that you can utilize those components to serve your community effectively, and to create plan and to create information that you're going to build on, and information that will assist you to be more effective as you go through your develop putting your services and products in the marketplace.
All right, thanks for your share, Peter. Great points. Um, I want to come alongside what you would have said, and I want to now talk about everything that we have talked about so far: access to capital, the business blueprint, success in business. I want us to talk about this now in terms of art and science. And the reason that I want to do this is because one can develop a master plan, one can develop a blueprint, but what guarantee do you have that upon implementing the processes, you're going to achieve the end results, the targeted results, which we call the TOPAC, the targeted performance outcome. So I will try to explain this because as you develop your blueprint, you want to be clear about your systems, your processes, your strategies. Now, one of the first questions you want to ask yourself as you think about your success, the targeted results that you want to ask yourself, what is the artistic approach to achieve this? And art has many representation. For example, the strategy that you're going to build to achieve the targeted results that you want, and there's an art to the strategy. And that art may represent taking the time to understand your target market. It may mean taking the time to understand where your target market is at. These are all art. You just don't apply yourself. Art might be you making a decision to use a public speaker, to use an influencer to help you to achieve your marketing objective, to use music to communicate information to your target market, to use dance, to use drama, to use theater to communicate information to your target market. So it's to understand how art plays a role in helping you to attain your the end results that you're looking for. So what is art? Art is strategies, art is tools, art is processes, and art, they're systems that you can use as a vehicle to achieve the objective. But it's important to take note that the deployment of art doesn't guarantee attaining the results that you want. So, what is science? Science is what really helps you to attain the targeted results because science really forces you to take the time to understand who's the client. It forces you to take the time to understand what are their needs. It forces you to take the time to understand their ability or inability to respond positively to your products or services. Science is what forces you to really take that time out to understand people, their needs, their pain point, their psychographics, and really put you in that position to really build and innovate products and services that can appeal to those interests. So you're able to achieve a couple of things. One we call high reward. That's what science does. Science gives you high reward. Science gives you measurable results. You can measure it. Science gives you predictable outcome because you can actually predict it. It's like if you know in a particular area there's shortage of products or services, and you have the right ideal client, you have the ideal client meaning that they have the disposable income to pay for products and services, um, and their shortage, you can actually predict that they're going to consume. And this is what science does. You want to be able to build your blueprint out in such a way that before you innovate a product or a service, you have these indicators that are telling you why people are going to buy, the position that they're in to buy, and how to now innovate to that. You want to achieve this with what I call the highest degree of accuracy. Now, to achieve all of this, it's important to have what we call market intelligence, to be able to apply the science of marketing, the science of sale, all right, to apply all of this in a manner where you are optimizing the business success, the business potential to be successful, you need to have the right information. So, an essential part of building out what we call your business success blueprint is to ensure that you understand how to deploy strategies and tools and systems and processes that's going to help you to attain the scientific outcome, the predictable outcome. And what you want, one of the predictable outcome that you want is positive customer response. All right. And to attain this, it takes time to understand. It makes sense to understand the ideal client. Just don't go to market because you can go to market. Go to market because it makes sense. Just don't innovate a products and service because you want to innovate a products and service. Innovate a product and service because it makes sense. And what makes it make sense? You must know your ideal client. You must know that you have access to your ideal client. You must know that the market is viable. You must know that the market has, you're reaching an urgent and immediate need. You must know that the ideal client has the ability and the willingness to pay for your products and services. So what exactly does your business blueprint, your business success blueprint looks like? If you're leaving all this out of the window, you're setting yourself up for failure. I want to say Anil. I see Anil is one person I can't tell is who's reaching out, and he's impressed with the how you guys are dealing with the topic. So kudos to you guys. All right, all right, Paul. I'm gonna come right back to you to talk to us a little bit more about capital, and then we're gonna start to wrap up on today's program.
Okay. Well, I think I've explained it pretty thoroughly. Of course, there's more to go into, but that's what I would want to say now is that it's available. It's here. Go for it. We want to get it done for you. Here's why. I mean, that's how we earn our living. And I don't mean to be so, I'm not trying to be blunt, but I'm saying it this way for a purpose. Because everybody along the line is that you're dealing with is in business. They're all in the same boat as you are. Um, we're here to help you make more profit. We're here to make a little bit to keep on going. And we want to, have a long-term relationship with you, not a one and done, not meet you and never see you again after we get one deal done for you. We're going to do a good enough job for you. You're going to be impressed and you're going to be happy with the results so that you want to work with us for the rest of your business career. Like we want to be your trusted advisors. And you need people like that in your corner. This, my closing remarks would be really impressive today. I like all the shows, but this one is really, really cool. It's the basic facts. Systems equal success. Um, just look, the biggest companies in the world have systems in place. We got to do what they want to, what they do. Copy success. It's okay to do that. I mean, I'm not saying copy product, but copy their methods and their processes and their systems and how they do things. And have a master plan for every area of your life. In the past, I didn't, and now I do, and now it's a lot easier. So, yeah, it works. Do get a hold of Peter. Do talk to him about this. It's very important. And as far as a master plan and a blueprint for your business, you don't build a skyscraper without blueprints, right? And like I said, everything in front of you, right? Every single thing that you're looking at was built with the blueprint. Everything. Or even a rock was built with a blueprint, God's blueprint. So everything, the dirt is a blueprint. Everything, the tree bark is a blueprint. There's nothing that you're going to see that's not a blueprint. So get on board and make one.
All right.
That's
All right. Thanks for that share, Paul.
it.
I like the humor you always bring into the conversation. I so love it. All right. There's a lot that we didn't get to cover today. I didn't get to talk about strategic leadership, tactical leadership, and operational leadership, and the significant role it plays in your business success blueprint. I will talk briefly about it as I close out on today's program. But strategic leadership is your board of directors, and you want your board of directors to be the right composition. So stay tuned. I'll talk to you briefly about that. So as you build out your blueprint for success, for business success, you can incorporate some of these concepts into that process. Uh, Peter, your closing thoughts?
Yeah, Gary, I just want to remind our audience that substance systems, structures, and strategies, these four, we call them the four S's, the four essential S's. And as Paul mentioned a while ago, it is in everything that exists, everything that exists. As you look around, wherever you are, whatever you're sitting on, is that is in our world is based upon these four essential S's: your substance, your your structures, and your strategies. And, we encourage individuals to take the time out in our Human Growth Master Plan program. We encourage individuals to design intentionally, very much so. A blueprint, brings individual, as Paul mentioned a while ago, that there has to be a design. There's a design for everything, and design is gonna cause you to, when you go to Paul, when you can show him your design, then it's easier for you to get to the funding that you need to be able to accelerate, or your business project that you're taking out to the marketplace. When you have your substance, your system, it crosses all the T's. It gives all the entire platform, and you feel comfortable. It brings about a sense of confidence, because you can now step out knowing that you have something that you're working. It is your GPS. No one goes on a journey, especially for a venture that you do not know. And the future, nobody knows the future, even an established business. What does established business base future forecasts on? Future forecasts are based upon past, achievements and accomplishments, and then they make a projection based upon those past achievements and accomplishments. So everything is based upon a design: your structures, your system, your substance, your systems, your structure, strategies. So individuals who would like to know more about this, you can find me at my legacy project, because that's essentially what we're all doing. We're all building legacy. Your life is a legacy project. The business that you're trying to design, it is a legacy project, because it is what people will remember you by. So if you go to mylegacyproject.net, mylegacyproject.net, and it spells just the way it is pronounced, mylegacyproject.net, you'll get some more understanding of what it is that we are endeavoring to do with our community. Thank you so much, Gary.
All right, thanks for that share, and Peter. What I will do, I will just do a high level overview of what strategic leadership should look like. But I will give Paul the last say. I want Paul to talk to us a little bit about the BFC, and how that program can really help people not just to learn about finance, but also position themselves to access additional streams of income for themselves. So let's get into this. As part of your business success blueprint, you're thinking about your organization chart, and your organization chart captures three important tenets. Tenants one is your strategic leadership. What is your strategic leadership? So tenant two is your tactical leadership team. What is tactical leadership? And the third level is your operational leadership. Now, your strategic leadership, you want to ensure that you have highly influential board of directors. Just don't appoint your board of directors. So whether you have an LLC, S Corp, or C Corp, you want to have a very dynamic and very influential board of directors. It's necessary. You want to have a board of director that can not only help you to make decisions, but can help you connect the dots in business. I'm going to go into that deeper. You go to our website. I'll point you to our website just now. I want you to get registered for this program, and we'll go much deeper into these concepts. Second, at your strategic level, you want to ensure that you have visionaries and committed leaders. Visionary and committed leaders. Ensure that as you appoint the people to help you at this level, they are visionaries and they're committed to that process of fostering change and helping you to accomplish the business strategic objective. Third, ensure that you have a market research specialist. And market research specialist is very deep. As a board of director, they will emphasize the importance of collecting sensitive data, analyzing sensitive data, leveraging sensitive data, and mitigating sensitive data to give your business and your brand the competitive advantage. Without information, you're not going to win, at least not for long, because success in business and having a competitive edge in business is not static. It is changing. You may have the competitive advantage today, but if you are not on the ground, if you're not market oriented, market sensitive, and market responsive, you can lose that competitive advantage. So ensure that you're taking notes on some of these. Next, we will talk about the cultural anthropologist. Yes, I know this might be going out on a limb, but why having a cultural anthropologist is helpful. Now, depending on the type of organization that you have, the cultural anthropologists, they really understand your ideal client far better than you because they understand culture, they understand lifestyle, they understand social class, they understand people based on their culture at the core. And a lot of decisions that you're going to be making to innovate products, to innovate services, to provide products and services can be heavily influenced by this knowledge base. You have a knowledge gap if you don't understand your target market based on their culture, based on their lifestyle, based on their social class. So at this top level, strategic leadership, you should be thinking about this. Financial specialists. Paul gives you a lot of insight into access to capital. But we want your financial specialist to not only be your accountant who tells you how much money coming in and how much money going out. You want your financial specialist to help you to understand financial instruments, as Paul would have emphasized. So you know which financial instrument is best for your company. You want a financial specialist to help you to access. All right, because you may have an accountant. We are not hitting accountant. They have a significant and important role to play in business, but they may not be the best person to tell you how to access capital. So your financial specialists need to understand this. The third is smart capital leverage. You need to really understand how to leverage capital. Perhaps you are leveraging it in the right way, but with the right creative, visionary financial leaders on your side, they may say to you, okay, we have excess liquidity. What do we do? Do we find innovative approaches, safe, innovative approaches to leverage our excess liquidity? Is that part of your business success blueprint? Because if it is, it's going to set you up to increase the business cash flow. So those are food for thoughts. And mitigation, I already gave you a hint on mitigation. The last I will talk about here, and this is one that I believe every rising star in business, every person in business you need to think about, is what I call influencer marketing. Do you have an influencer on your strategic leadership team? Why is influencers so important? To have these guys on your board may be capital intensive, but guess what? These guys can help you to leapfrog your business success. Why? Because an influencer, if it's social media, they may have 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, a million
Mhm.
persons that are following them. And guess what? Because they have an audience base, they may help you to fast track your visibility, your reach, your impact, your client conversion, your cash flow optimization, build confidence, trust, and credibility. And I can go so much more into this. So if you're not optimizing display, you need to, because it should be an essential part of your business success blueprint. If you when you need help, I encourage you to reach out to us because we don't only talk this language, we walk it, we live it, we breathe it, we sleep it. It's part of our DNA. So reach out to us when you need the support. Paul, I'm going to give you, I didn't point person to the website. I'm going to come to that just now. But Paul, can you talk to us a bit about the BFC? BFC is part of our baby. And I know the baby is feeling a bit left out because we always leave this baby sometime for the last thing to talk about. So I protested for the baby BFC. On to you, Paul.
All right. Well, business finance consultant. We can help you be that. You can work with us. That's what we want. We want to get 100 people and do a lot of business. And with 100 people, we want to get rich with you. Let's all get on the party. Let's all get on the boat, work together, and get to the same destination. How's that going to happen? Well, being a business finance consultant is a highly paid profession. You're a consultant. You're helping people get what they want, solving problems, and you get paid for it. Uh, when you're working with big numbers, you're not getting paid hourly. The best way to make money in this world is to be a business owner or a salesperson and not hourly. I mean, I guess if you're hourly as an attorney, that's not that bad. But if you're not hourly as an attorney and you're just hourly, it could be better. If you're working two or three jobs right now and you don't want to do that for the rest of your life, you got to make a break, make a decision on do something different that works. And sales and being a business owner, being providing a product or a service is the best way to get paid. You want to work in points and percentages, not per hour. So, how much could you make working with us? You're going to provide financing for businesses. You're going to solve their problems. Everything you heard me talk about earlier, you can offer. We're connected. You work through our lending sources with us. We are going to fully train you and fully support you. And I'll be on the phone with deals after your training. You're not cut loose out in the world. Go do it. You're going to got to go do the marketing on your own. But as far as talking to the customers, and we will teach you how to market also. We're going to teach you how to get customers. But when you get that first customer or those first 100 customers, I'll be on the phone with you. I'll be there. You will hear that's part of your training. You'll hear me in the real world saying it, speaking it, explaining it, overcoming objections, solving their problems, asking them if they want to do it because you have to know how to ask for a sale. If you're shy, don't worry about it. You can do it and we'll teach you how to do it. So you're solving problems, financial problems for businesses. That's a big deal. How
Mhm.
much money can you make? 25% of the cut. What is the cut? $200,000 piece of equipment. That piece of equipment behind me, it, by the way, is not $200,000. I don't know how much it is really, but it looks to be like that's an $800,000, $1 million plus piece of equipment. Okay. That's the type of stuff you can lease. See, it says any industry, any equipment, any state, any industry, any credit. That sums it up right there. That's how you can help people. All right. What's a fair profit for us doing a service for a construction company owner who wants something like that? Well, $200,000 piece of equipment. Let's say we charge 4 points. So that's $8,000. We might charge 6 points. It depends on the difficulty of the deal. We might charge seven. And whatever we charge, you're working with us as a consultant. We're transparent. We're going to show you our pay sheet so you know, and you get 25% of the profit for making the deal happen. We get our own deals right currently, but if we're working with you and you bring us a deal, that's a deal that we would not have had otherwise, other than you bringing it to us. That's what you're capable of. We're going to teach you how to go out, present yourself as a business finance consultant, make contacts, contact people on LinkedIn, send messages, email marketing. I'll tell you how we got our clients. You can model after what I did or add all those other things that are better than the way I did it. But get customers. And if you're making 2,000, 3,000, or $4,000 per deal, how many deals can you make per year?
Mhm.
If you do 100, then you're looking at between $200 and $400,000 a year. That's a lot of money. So yeah, Paul at patriotbfc.com. Email me, Global Capital Inc. at Global Capital Fund Ltd at gmail.com. Set an appointment if you're interested in this. We're interested in talking with you. If you don't have experience in sales, don't think that you can't do it because you actually can. You really can. Um, what else to add, Gary? Please add
Well, I
something.
just love it. I just love it. They can make a lot of money for themselves, I just want to encourage them to come out and become a BFC, and you can be part of our A team.
Mhm.
And that is helping businesses to be more successful. We're helping businesses to access capital to grow and scale. So I love that share, Paul.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep. All right. What I want to share with you now is that I want to encourage you guys to go to one of our websites, which is the bestsellerportal.org. And a lot of what we talk about there, we have programs. For example, when you go to the bestsellerportal.org, the first program you will see is One Degree to Success. You need to take some time to learn this. You will also see the very program that we discussed today. All right. Mass Business Success Blueprint. It's a program, and we're going to go deeper into this program. And at the end of the program, you're going to have access to Paul, and Paul is going to help you to access capital. So we're not just going to train you and leave you. All right, we're going to train you in business, and we know that you need access to capital, and we're going to put you in contact with people that will give you the capital. That's how we work. We don't train you and leave you high and dry. We train you and we connect you with all the key movers to help you build a strong blueprint. Along with this, you have the GIP initiative, which is the Global Influencers Partners Program. You can join our team and you can learn how to become a global influencer and how to really position yourself to cash flow optimize. So go to the website and take some time and learn and see what we're doing here. Next, you have Cash Flow Incubator. Whether you're a novice or a thriving business, there are multiple things that you can do to optimize your business cash flow. So when you come into the Biz Cash Flow Incubator, we're going to talk to you about new innovative ways in which your business could be set up to earn more capital, earn more money. All right. And guess what? You can even do this passively. You just need to set the system, adopt the right system into the organization, and it's going to cash flow. All right. Last but not least, I have to come back to the high net worth investors guide. If you're in business and you're not thinking like a high net worth investor, perhaps you're not ready for business, you're not going to succeed, at least not at that big scale. This program will really help you to understand how to get prepared for success, how to apply yourself after success, how to manage success, and how to expand in success. So there's much more, but I'm not going to share more. I want you to go on this journey, go to this website, take some time, learn what we are doing here, and reach out to us. I want to thank everyone who has been viewing this program from across the world. We are reaching over 50 countries, and we have between our two channels over 30,000 persons who have subscribed to our platform over the last 2 to 3 months. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting this program. But we know that we still have 70+% of persons who are looking at the program that have not yet subscribed to the program. So I want to encourage you to subscribe. Perhaps you forget to press that subscription button. When you subscribe, you will be notified. You will be the first to know when we are on to drop gems like we dropped today. All right. I want to thank my colleagues for being here today. Peter, he is committed to, really helping people with their master plan, helping people to develop their blueprint for success. And he has a lot of hacks. All right. You have his website. Do visit his website to see what he's doing. I also want to thank Paul. And Paul is a major, major link to you and your business success. Why? Because you need capital. When you develop the master plan, what comes next? You want to execute on the master plan, and to execute on the master plan, you need money. All right. So, regardless of the capital that you're looking at, Paul is going to help you with that. I will also come alongside Paul, and I'm going to help you to understand some new other financial instruments that we have at your disposal. So, we're here for business leaders who wants to grow, who wants to scale, who's serious about doing business. So I want to thank you guys, and I want to say you guys have a great weekend ahead of you.
All right. Have a good
Okay,
weekend.
take care.